Good evening, everybody. My name's Jonathan Wilner, and welcome to our 7 p.m. Facebook Live. I'm the owner. I want to tell you a little bit of who I am and what we're doing here this evening. First and foremost, my name is Jonathan Wilner, as I just said. I'm the owner of Harrington Limousine Service, and we provide peace of mind anywhere, anytime. This evening, our Facebook Live is an introduction to some of the people that I network with. I'd like to promote them because, well, that's the best way to get more business. And there are special people in my networking environment, and which I belong to BNI, and I want to tell you a little bit about them, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we want to promote each other, so this is one of the ways that we're going to do it. So as I said, I'm the owner of Harrington Limousine Service. We've been in business for over 97 years. We're going to hit 100 soon, so we're very excited. But when I said earlier that we provide peace of mind anywhere, anytime, well, what that is that we've adapted to the conditions that we're under right now. The COVID pandemic that we're enduring doesn't stop us from providing the quality service that all our clients have gone to know, like, and trust, and feel comfortable when we pick them up. So we want to make sure that everyone is aware that we clean and disinfect our vehicles from the outside, inside, back out again, and shut the doors. And once we shut those passenger doors, they're all clean. We've educated our chauffeurs how to clean and disinfect the vehicle in between clients. We keep a barrier between our chauffeur and our passengers to add that extra layer of protection. Our chauffeurs wear a clean mask and clean gloves every time a new client gets into the car. In addition to that, they're equipped with a special package of the cleaning and disinfecting tools that they're going to need to clean and disinfect in between. Now, the peace of mind goes beyond that. They have all the additional training that you're familiar with if you've not used our services already, but our affiliates around the nation and around the world are also emulating the same processes that we are with the cleaning and disinfecting and so forth, and the training for the chauffeurs, so that you get that comfortable environment when you need to travel. We don't like to travel, especially during these times, but when you need to, at least you know that we've taken every single precaution to ensure that at least while you're in our vehicle or one of our affiliates across the country or around the world, that you're getting that same level of comfort. It's really very important for us, for you to feel comfortable. So let's proceed to what we're here for tonight. It's to introduce you to a fellow BNI member, Janet Zerpola from Cruise Planners. Come on down, Janet. Come on. Where are you? Come on. I can't see you.
Here I am.
Wait, no, other side. There you go. That's awesome. Janet, thank you very much for coming down. And I know the commute was amazing, right?
Yeah.
It was
right down the hallway, John, right?
Well, I'm glad you were able to join us this evening. A fellow BNIer obviously believes in the power of networking. There are a lot of people here that don't know who you are. Why don't you give us a few seconds about, 30 seconds, 45 seconds about who you are, where you came from. How'd you become Janet Zerpola Cruise Planners?
Right. Well, Janet Zerpola of Edison, New Jersey was an accountant, worked in corporate accounting for many years. Really? And kind of read the writing on the wall. I knew I was tired of it. So about 5 years back, I bought my Cruise Planners franchise. Worked it part-time for the first 3 years, and then finally got CBS to release me. And once I got my buyout package, I said, this is great. Now I am a full-time travel professional. And that was around the middle of 2019. So we started laying the groundwork for what I had hoped would be a pretty good 2020. Had groups set up, had European travel, cruises, and unfortunately, COVID came. And now, like every other travel professional, we're just sitting back, keeping an eye on what's going on in the world, and keeping our fingers crossed that all the right things are being done now so that we can have a much better and more prosperous 2021. It's been rough for anybody that is in the travel and hospitality business, for sure.
Yes, I definitely feel your pain. as you know,
Yeah,
the ground
exactly.
transportation provider.
You're right.
You make the deals with the individuals, and we get them to the ports and the airports and so forth wherever they're going. So
Right. And you
definitely
guys
take
do a great
advantage.
job. I've used you myself personally when I've gone to the airports. Comfortable cars, great drivers. So, just keep the faith that you'll be able to provide that good service again next year when, God willing, everything goes back to normal for us.
Well, yeah, we look forward to it. So I wanted to touch on a few things here. Wanted to understand. Uh, I I'm going to talk about the pandemic a little bit. I know that it's a painful subject, especially in our field.
Mhm.
But tell me what I mean. For you after booking all those cruises and trips. I mean, there was a lot of work to do that,
Sure.
and this pandemic impacted substantially for you now to undo all that.
Right.
Tell me what else has changed for you during since the pandemic hit.
Well, what it's really done is it's made us more we're observers right now, a lot of us. We're still continuing to do our marketing, but we have to do it in a different way. For us, everything is when the time is right. Then we're going to get you back out there again. I'm not into convincing people to travel at this moment if they're not comfortable with it. If they are and they really want to go have themselves a little party in Cancun, I can set that up for them because there still are some places that you can go for a nice time. And they've done a great job down there. But, more and more we spend our time just looking at opportunities for the future and trying to tell people that, yeah, I'm not personally convinced that before summer of next year, things are going to be closer to what we normally see when we travel. But I think it's time to start booking. I do believe that this is the right time now to start talking to an agent like myself and say, okay, we realize this has been a rough stretch, but we think by next September, we're going to be ready to go somewhere. So let's start talking. And knock on wood 100 times, I really do think that that's going to be the case. First half of the year, still going to be very touch and go. Cruise industry, I think, is going to be a real mess for pretty much a good chunk of 21. They're going to get up rolling again, but they're going to have to reconfigure so much. I've already had cruises that I have booked for next year that have been changed or canceled because they're moving itineraries around. So anybody that books a cruise for next year needs to know that can happen.
So,
Land, I don't think
so
it'll be as bad. I'm sorry?
I'm curious. I mean, people are booking, and you said maybe for September 2021 that they can start booking for. But what is there a what if clause? I mean, what if things aren't good? Can people cancel? Is there a huge penalty? Can they get a refund from anything, even if they want to book for, let's just say, for argument's sake, June, July? Typically, that's when a
Mhm.
lot of people go away on
Mhm.
vacation during the
Right.
summer months. So if they book something for June or July with the hopes of saying, "Oh, it's going to be great,"
Right.
we can get away,
Hmm.
they book it. What is the procedure? I mean, if they decide, "Oh my God, the COVID's too bad," or whatever, or they get sick, God
Right.
forbid.
Well,
Tell me
there's
what
a
that
couple of
process
different
is like.
things. Yeah, but basically it depends on the vendor. Every vendor had their own policy. Some would do refunds, but a lot of them would not do refunds, but they would allow you to carry a credit into the future. I had a whole group of people going to Ireland, and that's what happened to them. So we
Mhm.
just shifted from September 20 to September 21. So that's what a lot of companies did. The cruise lines were actually a little bit more generous than some of the tour companies. They would actually, if you would keep the credit with them, they would actually give you a 25% bump up so that you could book down the road and you'd get a little bit something extra, maybe upgrade your cabin, whatever the case might be. So that's a very vendor specific question. Now, in terms of your own cancellations due to illness, the answer again goes back to what I tell people time and again: buy travel insurance.
Is that a
Um,
costly, expense?
it is not. No, it generally depends on the value of the trip. Honestly, it's a bit more expensive for older people. Unfortunately, some of the companies will quote you a higher rate if you're over 65. But for most people, it's not that unaffordable. And it's worth spending that maybe $200 extra rather than lose everything if you get sick and can't go. I've had people have accidents a week before a trip. Doctor said, you've got a broken ankle. You can't get on a plane right now. They were very lucky to have the travel insurance. They got all their money back.
Wow.
So, and it's also a great thing to have because while you're traveling, if you do get sick or have an accident, It covers moving you to another hospital, airlifting you off a ship if you happen to get sick on a cruise ship. So
Wow.
the importance of insurance, I think, has probably never been more so than it is right now.
Do you arrange that insurance? I mean, if somebody wanted to, so
Yeah,
they one-stop shop with Janet Zerpola. That's it.
pretty much. Yeah, I can do everything from getting the booking. I can get you there. I can get you insured, and then I can have you moved around within the country once you get there. So
That's
we can do
awesome.
all of that, right? And pretty much all over the world. You know, the franchise name is Cruise Planners. Personally, I've done more land than I have cruises.
Wow.
So, you know, it really just depends on what the person wants to do. If you want to go to the North Pole, we can do that.
Oh, see Santa Claus?
Timely, you never know. He probably has a COVID thing going on too. We probably can't even go there.
That would be a cool place to
Yeah.
go to, right?
You know, it's for the rugged. I'll be honest with you. I've seen videos of people that go on expeditions up there, and as cool as it looks, I don't see me getting in and out of that little Zodiac. But for
Yeah,
people that are a little more adventurous, it looks like a great trip.
and I don't like shoveling snow, so I don't think that'd be for.
Yeah, I always say the only white stuff I like is on a beach.
Let me just point out right now, for those of you that are joining us right now, for you just walked into this Facebook Live, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Jonathan Wilner of Harrington Limo, and with me tonight is Janet Zerpola from Cruise Planners, and we're both BNI members, different chapters, and we're trying to find some people that would want to network with either one of us. Now, we have 2 different days here. Janet meets on Wednesday morning, and I meet on Tuesday morning. So if one of those days works better, or if there's a profession that you're looking for, you can reach out to us. So chances are we know a guy or know a girl that can fulfill that request. So moving on, Janet, tell me a little bit about your BNI experience. I mean, you joined BNI how long ago?
3 years.
3 years.
Right.
Now, I know that the membership goes from 1 year. Maybe if you're really courageous, you go, oh, I'll buy 2 years. You get a little
Right.
bit of discount and so forth to be a member for that long. But 3 years, that means that after the first year, you're probably like most people, they say, try it for a year, see what happens. And then they say, oh, it was pretty good. So I joined for another. But now you're on your 3rd year.
Right.
And so tell me about your experience, about who told you to join BNI.
BNI was a name that I had heard tossed around Cruise Planners. An awful lot of agents belong to BNIs where they live. We're throughout the country. Cruise Planners has about 1,700 agents.
Wow.
And I kept on saying I really want to join one, but at the time I was still employed full time. And as you know, the meetings in person, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I worked in Manhattan. So it was almost impossible for me to do anything.
Right.
Then one day, John McGlynn approached me and he said, we're always looking for new members and we don't have a travel person in our group. I'd love for you to come visit. So I took a day off from work and I went to the meeting and I liked everybody I met. I liked the concept. I really thought it looked like it could work for me. So I managed to talk to my very nice boss and say, how about 1 day a week you let me work from home? I'll go to my meeting and then I'll go back home and you've got me for the rest of the day. And that's how I did it for the first year and a half or so. And then I took my package from CBS and I left.
Wow.
I've always, the one thing about BNI too is that first year is all about feeling it out. Anybody that walks into a BNI or any networking group and expects the business to start flying at you, it's not how it works. People really need to get to know you. They need to trust you. And once they see that trust and they see that you do a good job for people, they're going to use your services. Like I have no reservation about recommending anybody to you because I've used your service. I see how good it is and I know what a good job you're doing. And I would hope that through all of my interactions over these past 3 years with my BNI members, that they've seen the same thing with me, that when I do my job, I do it well. And that's really what networking is all about. It's about you helping people and then people helping you. So we do as many referrals as we can. In this environment, I won't lie, it's been tough because we don't get out and talk to people like we used to.
Right.
So it's been a challenge. And this year I happen to be the president of our chapter. And the challenge is keeping everybody invigorated. We've got 28 members and we're always looking for new ones. And it's basically, come on, folks, this isn't going to last forever. Hang in there with me. We'll be able to do our normal routines again, maybe in another 6 months. So for now, just let's hang in there and Zoom it out.
Well, Zoom has been pretty successful. I mean, I know that the Zoom meetings were initially, hey, this is a temporary fix. We're
Right.
putting a band-aid on this, and everybody said, oh, within a month or so we'll be back to meeting in person. We didn't know that it was going to be like this. So
Nobody did. Yeah.
and I know because I get to a lot of different chapters, and it's easier for me because, as you know, I'm a director with BNI, and I go and I visit other chapters to see how we can help them grow. So now it's a lot more convenient for me because there's no travel involved, and I used to travel sometimes an hour to get to a particular BNI function. So for me, I love it, but I still definitely miss the interaction with the individuals, the conversations, and the horrible breakfast, right? So,
yeah, that's hit or miss depending on which meeting you go to. I had a tendency to just have coffee anyway, but yeah, and the other thing about Zoom too, and anybody that's listening to this is a great time for you to try a BNI chapter out. It's really pretty easy for you. We send you the link, you get up in the morning, you dial in and you sit through our meeting. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, give or take. And it gives you a pretty good idea of what we do, even though it's not in person yet. So for those that are a little on the fence about it, this is really a very good time to check it out. It's really no effort for you at all.
Right. And, there's a rumor. I'm not going to, don't hold me to the fence, but there's been rumors that there may eventually create Zoom chapters where they meet virtually and they don't meet in person because there are people from all over the world, all over the country, or whatever. I would imagine it would be typically from the same time zone, at least, so that nobody's getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to join a 7 o'clock meeting.
Right.
But nonetheless, there's rumor, there was talk about it. So that would be really cool to find out that you could join a Zoom chapter, a BNI chapter in New Zealand.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. You never know if you have any kind of worldwide ties. It would be great. So tell me, one of the things that we're always looking to, like you said, bring in visitors. Like you said, it's a great way to visit many chapters. But who are we looking for? I know that I'm looking for like a plethora of individuals. We too are trying to grow our chapter that meets on Tuesday. Who are you looking for?
We are always looking for craftsmen. We have a pretty good group that does real estate, our real estate super group. But they're always looking for a contractor, electrician, plumber, painter. We have had difficulty finding those kind of people. I know some of it's their schedule. A lot of them are actually out working already at the time that we're sitting down to have a meeting. But some of them that perhaps have assistants or office staff that could sit in the meeting for them, that might be perfect.
And promote the business.
Yeah, they really got to know the business inside out, of course. But those are the types of people that we're looking for. We currently don't have a chiropractor. So if anybody out there knows of a chiropractor who would like to do some networking, we have a health and wellness team. So they would actually, we try to break into teams. I'm sure your group does the same thing.
Right.
Where like-minded businesses can feed off of one another and help one another. So we're trying to do that as well. I'm kind of the odd man out in my group. I have floated back between health and wellness and the business group. I'm like, don't quite fit, I sort of go back and forth a lot, but for health and wellness, I guess I would say I'm the one that a nice vacation can restore you. So, I guess that's how I fit into that one.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to agree with you. A good vacation anywhere is a good place. It used to be, hey, I was looking forward to going home. Now I'm looking forward to going someplace.
It's funny. In the meantime, John, what I've been doing is I have a Facebook group I started calling Travel the Planet with Janet. And I'm hoping to give a little bit of a lifeline to people. Every day I go on with a different topic or question and try to stimulate conversation, share stories, share photos. So anybody that wants to sign up and join, it's Travel the Planet with Janet on Facebook. And, I hope that'll hold us over in the meantime.
Well, that's great. So your group is looking for a chiropractor. Is there anyone specifically? Is there particular chiropractor name, or that we want to get in touch with, that you know what, maybe somebody out there, maybe that chiropractor is actually watching right now, and we can get them to, hey, come and visit. Janet wants you to visit with her. So anybody particular come to mind?
I'm sorry, no, I can't say I have anyone specific in mind.
Okay.
But basically, if you, even if you're not a chiropractor, but you know one, or you go to one, for yourself, for your own healthcare,
right?
Mention us, mention BNI groups, because I think it's a great way for people you really do get to know people on a different level when you do this sort of networking. And it's the old giver's gain, the motto. It's not all about you getting business, but it's about you having conversations with people in your group and saying, I know somebody that needs to have their will done. I'm going to have them call Rebecca Strub, who was on with you last week. She's in my group. So I say, I know somebody that needs to do some planning. Give her a call. She can help you out. So it's basically always about having your mind working and thinking. I know people. And as I talk to people, these thoughts will pop into my head. Oh, you need some insurance, or you had a car accident, or your mechanic screwed up your engine. You need somebody new. We know people, like you said before. And it's always reach out to BNI people, because we know people.
I love that. I love that you can always turn around and say, oh, hold on, wait, is he BNI? Who do I know? And it always, you always know somebody. And if you don't know that person, you know somebody who knows that somebody who will vouch for that individual. I mean, I have a laundry list of stories that are similar to that, where I was looking for somebody in another state, and I didn't know that that profession, and I reached out. I said, hey, my name's Jonathan Wilner. I'm with BNI, and I want to. Oh, hold on, let me hang up this other call, whatever. And they take your call, they pay attention to you. I mean, it's a great feeling. It's like you're part of a fraternity. So with that,
it is. We really, I know I enjoy my group. Let's put it this way, I renewed this past August. If I was willing to renew this past August, given everything that I'm going through right now, that gives you some idea of the kind of faith I have that BNI will still be there for me, and I'll be able to help other people in the meantime while the kinks are getting worked out around the world.
It's funny. We build they say networking, especially word of mouth networking, is like farming. We're growing, we're cultivating relationships with other individuals, and we talk to them, and we not only can figure out how we can make referrals for one another, but if we have business issues, or how to figure out, a problem that we're having during, our course of our workday, that you can talk to somebody, you can reach out to another BNI member and say, tell me, have you ever experienced this? And whatever it is, they can probably tell you, oh, you know what, I don't know, but I know Joe knows, or John knows, or Michelle knows, or, whatever it is.
It's very good to always have people that you can bounce stuff off of. Now, there's nobody else I know, within the BNI world that does what I do. So if it's a travel specific issue, I have another group of people that I rely on for help with that. But just general business and marketing and things of that nature, I get so much more out of talking to people at BNI. Just on how to get yourself out there. And some people, I've learned a lot. I was somewhat backwards and shy when I first started doing this. Even this interview tonight was a little unnerving for me. But it's all about, you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and learn to do new things.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people learn how to do public speaking when they join BNI.
You do. You get real nervous at first. I remember we had a member, she could barely get the words out when she first started. After a couple of months, she was great. She'd stand up there, and she was really a good speaker.
I think I know who you're talking about. We won't call her out, but I think I remember this. But nonetheless, so real quick, if anybody wants to reach out to you, they can private message you after the Facebook Live. Okay. They can find you on Facebook. What's the best way? Call? Is there a phone number or something, or email, or?
Sure. The email is actually my name, janet.zerpola@cruiseplanners.com. Phone number is 732-662-3402. And if you want, you can check out my website. It's carefreetraveling.com. And all of my information is there, along with blogs that I've written and any type of specials.
Great. So there's your information right there. And I meet on Tuesday. We're going to wrap this up right now. So if you want to know more about BNI or, the travel industry or limousine service or BNI, you can reach out to either one of us. And I want to thank you, Janet, for taking the time out of your day and joining us to do this Facebook Live. I know it's kind of like in its infancy and we're not really perfected it yet, but it's really good.
Yeah.
And I'll see you real soon at your chapter because I'm going to come and visit. And that's it.
Thank you.
That's us.
And I appreciate the opportunity as well, John. It was fun talking to you.
The pleasure was mine. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Soon.
Take care.
Good night.
Night.